The preseason finale in Jacksonville is over. Owner Arthur Blank wanted a more physical team. Heck, even a punter was fighting tonight. It's been a preseason of explosive plays, but are they ready for Drew Brees and the Saints in the season opener? That's the big question. Welcome into our CW69 studios. This is Inside the Locker Room, presented by Northside Hospital. I'm JP Peterson, and the news is good. The Falcons win at 24-14 to go to 2-2 this preseason, with most of the starters lounging by the poolside cabanas in Jacksonville. Some of the backups played very well tonight. And in the offseason, you get your acquisitions, you get your draft. Did you make your team better? This is the time to evaluate that. And I think for the Falcons, the answer to that is an emphatic yes. Now remember, after each and every regular season game, tune right here, CW69, for your live post-game show from the Georgia Dome or wherever the Falcons are playing. Dave Archer will be live with head coach Mike Smith, Matt Ryan, and all the key players. So remember, post-game, every game, right here, CW69. All right, here's some of the storylines from tonight's game we looked at going in. Determine the backup quarterback. It appears T.J. Yates won that job tonight. Not for sure, but he certainly played very well. Solidify your position. I think we saw some of those positions up for grab, like right tackle. Lamar Holmes looks like your guy. Final roster cuts are coming. Who made an impression tonight? No injuries, thank goodness. Didn't see any tonight. And Steven Jackson's status did not play. Will he be ready for the season opener? We will discuss. Show you some of the key plays from tonight, the big plays. And Anton Smith certainly has had a great preseason. The Florida State alum, watch this on his 3rd and 21, breaks 4 tackles, and he is gone. All he does is score long touchdowns. This one for 66 yards. He should get some touches in the regular season. And more from T.J. Yates. Watch this one, a deep throw. He's going to earn this one to Freddie Martino, the pride of North Greenville University, the Fighting Crusaders. I'm told they have a great tennis team. 67 yards. Here's some of your fantasy numbers if you had these guys in preseason games. T.J. Yates, 15 of 22, 43, couple of touchdowns, no interceptions. Devontae Freeman getting a lot of carries, getting a lot of work tonight. Anton Smith, again, big plays is all this guy does, and hopefully they'll find some room for him. You know, as I mentioned, preseason is all about figuring, is your team better? Are your weaknesses answered? The offensive line clearly better. Jake over at the left side now. Joe Hawley solidified as the center. Even Lamar Holmes at right tackle has played very well. That looks much improved. Defensively, Soliai, Tyson Jackson up front. Babineau's had a tremendous preseason. The defense looks better. They look more stout at the point of attack. That's going to help the linebackers play better. The defense is improved. Special teams, I think, much improved with Devin Hester. The guys that are going to play those teams we've seen in the last couple of games. Across the board, a lot of explosive plays. I think this Falcons team in really good shape as they head into that season opener against the Saints. All right, coming up next, we will hear from the head coach, Mike Smith, live from Jacksonville with Arch. Is the head coach satisfied with preseason? Does he think the team is ready for the Saints? We'll find out next. Stay with us.
Falcons Inside the Locker Room is presented by The Home Depot. The Home Depot is the exclusive home improvement partner of the Atlanta Falcons. Let's yell, let's cheer, let's do this. Northside Hospital, preferred healthcare partner of the Atlanta Falcons and their fans. The Georgia Lottery, today could be the day. And SunTrust. SunTrust helps you organize your money with spending and savings buckets. Set up your buckets at suntrust.com/organize.
And welcome back inside the locker room, presented by Northside Hospital. JP Peterson here. Once again, the Falcons win tonight, 24-14. The offensive line, the starters, played significant time tonight into the second quarter. Good to see that chemistry coming together. Let's go live now to Jacksonville, where Dave Archer, the guy who called the game tonight, is standing by. And Arch, you know, I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast that I think the Falcons have answered a lot of these questions that they had from the end of last year, improving in the trenches on both sides. What do you think?
Well, JP, I'd agree with you. I thought tonight was an emphatic yes for the defensive front. Now, we know that the starters played a couple series defensively, but I really felt like that it permeated the entire group up front, that they played on Jacksonville's side of the line of scrimmage most of the night in the defensive front, and that created major problems on third down because you were having success on first and second down. They did a great job on third down as well. On the other side of the football, you saw good protection. You saw a run game that was serviceable. I thought there were a lot of positives that came out of this. And, hey, you still got a battle at quarterback because the other quarterback played great tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. I thought it was Sean Renfree coming in tonight, but the way T.J. Yates played and the amount of time that T.J. got, did he take that backup quarterback job?
Well, it's a good question. I think that TJ has had the spot, and Sean's been kind of pushing him for it. It certainly looked like through the first 3 games that maybe he had secured that, maybe taken it from him. But TJ said, no, that's not over yet. He had a monster night tonight, 15 of 20, over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and really looked as comfortable we've seen him in the Falcon offense tonight.
Well, he had the quarterback's best friend tonight. That's a screen pass that goes for 66. And Anton Smith has been explosive. Devontae Freeman has been explosive. Quiz has had a great preseason. We didn't see Steven Jackson. The biggest question for me going into the regular season, what is Steven Jackson's role going to be, and will it upset the flow that this team has going right now on offense?
Well, I think it's a good problem to have as we got Mike Smith sliding into this now. And Smitty, we were just talking about your running back situation. Kind of good problem to have. Steven hadn't even played yet, and you know what he brings to the table. And those your 3 other backs have been outstanding this preseason.
Yeah, we feel like those young guys got a lot of touches in the preseason. It gives us an opportunity to really evaluate them. So there were some negative running plays that we got to get fixed, but I really like the way that those guys have performed all training camp.
It seems like so often we talk about your offense, and rightly so. There's a ton of guys on that side of the football. But the defense really came to play tonight. Played on Jacksonville's side of the line of scrimmage in the defensive front. You guys were outstanding on third down defense tonight.
Yeah, there was some really good play on the defensive side, especially early on with our first unit. They did some very good things, and you want to work through this preseason, and by week 4, have a good feel about what you're all about as a football team, and we're pleased with what we've done. We've made a lot of mistakes, but we got time to correct those, and looking forward to getting going and preparing for the New Orleans Saints.
It looks like another good problem to have is your other quarterback played really good tonight. TJ Yates played well. Sean has had a good preseason, and TJ really lit it up tonight. So you've got 2 guys that look like they can play the game.
Well, that quarterback battle has been very interesting, and it's continued to be that. TJ played outstanding football. That was a great long ball. He put the ball in the air, and the guy was able to run underneath it on the big touchdown pass on the double cut.
Smitty, how tough is this now, this process? You're going to go from 75 players to 53. You've got a tremendous amount invested in these guys, not just what you've done on the field. You know all these players now, and I know you got to cast that aside and pick your team, but it's a tough night, is it not?
It is. The next 3 or 4 days are probably the toughest as a team and as an organization. You know, there's certain days that you really like as a football coach, and then there's certain days that you know are going to be tough. And these guys have worked their tails off, but it's a fact of life. There's only going to be 53 guys on our active roster, and we have to make those decisions. And doesn't mean that these guys aren't good football players. They're all good football players. It's just a matter of how it's going to fit for us this year.
Well, Smitty, we can't wait to see that group you put on the field because you got a ton of talent out there right now. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, there's Mike Smith, JP, and talking about this football team and how I think he's got some really cool problems to have because he's got a ton of players that can play in this league.
And no doubt about it. When you've got tough cuts to make, it means you've got a deep and good football team. All right, Arch, stand by. We'll get right back to you. We'll be headed back out to Jacksonville live. Scheduled to appear, quarterback TJ Yates, hopefully who's going to join us, talk about his big night, the hometown hero. Anton Smith, Travion Robertson, and Devontae Freeman. Stay with us. And welcome back to our CW69 studios. Remember, after every game, post-game, your first stop right here for our Inside the Locker Room show, and we'll have all the good stuff and the emotion from the locker room. Perusing Twitter tonight, it appears there is a Twitter war going on with the mascot of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Captain Fear. So if you want to join in on that at Atlanta Falcons, that's good fun. A lot of the fans just talking about how much better they see this Falcons football team for 2014. So at least as far as the fan base goes, they seem very pleased. All right, let's head back out. Dave Archer is standing by waiting for some of the other guests. TJ Yates is coming up soon, hopefully. We'll get the quarterback. And Arch, we talked a lot about the lines right now, and let's talk about the skill players, because I think right now the strength of this team, it's Julio, it's Roddy, it's Harry Douglas, it's Devin Hester, who we found in this preseason. I think this offense is going to be extremely explosive. Your thoughts?
Well, the wide receiver set is really going to be difficult to handle, JP. I think you're correct. You add in the fact that I think you found some things with these 3 young backs. throw Steven Jackson in the mix. And think about it as a defensive coordinator trying to prepare. There's only so many hours in the week to get ready for a team. In fact, you only really have 3 days to prepare. You got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that you're trying to prepare for the different facets of the game, whether it's 1st and 10, 3rd down, red zone, all those kind of facets you're trying to get ready for as a defensive coach, and then you put all the weapons the Falcons have in place. You can see where if they protect Ryan, how difficult it could be for a defensive unit to get ready to play this team.
You know, kind of along those lines, Arch, the new rules, I'll call them, with the holding, the clutching and grabbing, all these penalties that we've seen, I tend to think that plays into the Falcons' hand. They've got smaller, quicker corners, not the big hold-you type guys. And if you can't touch Julio, Ronnie, those guys, they're going to be even harder to cover. How do you think the way they're calling the defensive backfield right now works in for the Falcons?
Well, I think it's going to be difficult for everybody, really, JP. I think our corners are going to have a tough time. There's some big receivers in our division as well. You're going to see one on opening weekend where you get Marcus Colston, not to mention the fact Jimmy Graham plays outside. In fact, he tried to make sure that people knew that he played outside that tight end area to try to get a little bit more money. But those are going to be tough matchups outside for anybody that's a smaller corner. I think that certainly the quickness will play into it for the Falcon corners, but I think it's going to be a tough chore for anybody in the league with the big receivers, the transition that we've been seeing over the last 5 years of teams acquiring these gigantic receivers. It's going to be tough for a lot of teams, and I think you'll see another record scoring season. You know, Broncos broke the record in scoring. I think it was a record scoring season last year for all offenses. I think it'll be another one this year.
Yeah, take Peyton Manning in your fantasy draft. Little nugget there. All right, Arch, stay right there. He's got some guests coming up. The guys are getting dressed, getting ready to get out of there in Jacksonville, but they will have to stop and see Arch first. That's how that works. Stay with us. We'll be back with more live interviews from Jacksonville as the Falcons win tonight 24-14. We'll be back right after this. You are back inside the locker room, brought to you by Northside Hospital. The final tonight, 24-14, couple of touchdown passes from TJ Yates, a long one, a long bomb, and also a nice one with Anton Smith. As we're back here, and we'll be headed back live to Jacksonville. Let's bring in Dave Arch, who was standing by right outside the locker room, waiting on the players still. And Arch, while I got you, before you get the interviews, one more question, and that's on the pass rush. Did we see enough in this preseason from Maponga, Massaquoi, Malachi Goodman, Croy Bierman to make you feel good about the pass rush?
I don't think we've ever seen enough, have we, JP?
No.
You and I have talked about that a number of times off camera, and I think that most Falcon fans want to see more splash plays by those edge players. I thought you saw more of it tonight. I think that Osi has shown that dropping that 5 or 6 pounds and getting back to what makes him, or what made him a feared rusher in the league, is that speed up the field. I think we've seen that on display in a number of games, not just tonight, as he had his sack tonight. But we know that it's going to come from volume rush. It's going to be more than 4 guys most of the time coming. Nolan is a master at designing blitzes and ways of getting guys free or getting mismatches on rushers on backs or tight ends. That's where the bulk of the pressure is going to come from when you start talking about sacks. But if these guys can get enough of a push, and we saw some of that interior push tonight, if you can push your man back into the quarterback's lap, it creates some problems throwing the ball. I can attest to that. It's hard to throw the ball out of the hole.
Yeah, it is. Those quarterbacks love to step up if they can collapse that pocket, especially Drew Brees. That'll be a big help. With Soliai, hopefully, will provide that as well. All right, I know you got a player. Let's go right to you. Go ahead, Arch.
Thanks, JP. Got Anton Smith with me, and Ton, fun to watch you tonight. I know that you love to light the scoreboard. Tell me about what this preseason's been like. How has it been different for you, being a feature part of the offense?
Difference has been just having an opportunity. I mean, they seen what I could do, and having an opportunity to go out there and possess my speed and show my speed, not only on special team, but also on offense, playing running back. So it's been very helpful with me, and the coaches give me opportunity. That's the biggest thing.
We know that you've been one of the real good special teamers, not just on this team, but in the league. But your opportunity to play offensively, I think you've surprised the organization a little bit with some of the things you can do. Do you sense that?
Well, I hope so. I mean, they see it every day in practice and everything. I think I've been doing somewhat of the same thing since I've been here. I mean, but I just have a little bit more opportunity now, and I just got to keep on capitalizing on it.
How do you see this continuing to unfold now? Because there's 4 of you really that can contribute on the offensive side of the ball, running the ball. Have they made any gesture towards you saying that, hey, we're going to have a package there for you?
They haven't made no suggestion at me at all, and I don't expect them to. I'm just here to compete and just win games.
All right, big guy. We appreciate it. Man, it's fun to watch you light the scoreboard up.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, that's Anton Smith, and Ton is a guy that we're excited about. I'm going to bring another one, totally fast and furious. And here's a guy that I think anybody that's an Atlanta native has been pulling for this guy. It's been a tough scenario for you, TJ, trying to learn an offense and win a job at the same time. And it looked like tonight, all of a sudden, things kind of came together for a ball coming out on time. Tell me what you went through.
Yeah, this preseason was a little bit of a struggle coming in, and like you said, brand new offense. Those things kind of take time, and throughout the first couple preseason games, it's pretty frustrating. I was frustrated when I was playing. A lot of things weren't really going right, but you just gotta keep your head down, keep pressing, and keep working hard, and it paid off because I thought we did a really good job in the first half tonight, moving the ball up and down the field, making some explosive plays, and it felt good out there.
Having been in your position, I'm going to ask you a question. I probably already know the answer to this, but how anxious do you get a little bit? You're at a new team. You have a playoff win under your belt. You were brought here as a veteran guy that's going to be able to contribute, yet the things hadn't gone well. How anxious had you gotten prior to the night?
I wouldn't say really anxious, just kind of frustrated from before and ready to get out there and kind of prove what I can do. Those first couple games weren't really, what I'm about, and I was really happy to come out here and just play some more football. That's the great thing about this game. You get more chances, especially during the preseason, and we did well tonight.
Your guys played behind this offensive line. You played again behind the number one offensive line. How do you feel like that's coming together for the team?
It came together very well. I think that second drive we moved the ball down the field really well, passing, running. We got pretty much every aspect in that drive. Got a good goal line, run in there. We were hitting on all cylinders right there.
All right, Pope High School's TJ Yates, and boy, you lit it up tonight, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, good to be with you, buddy. All right, JP, I'm going to keep them coming fast and furious. Got Travian Robertson here now, 7th-round draft pick out of South Carolina a couple of years ago, and Trey, all of a sudden, the big fella, number 92, making a lot of plays on the team's other side. Tell me what you're going through mentally trying to make this team.
Well, just trying to do what I've been coached to do, and do the extra work, and just try to be disciplined. And it's been a tough camp, and I just try to take it all in. And Coach Cox been on me a lot, and just trying to get everything out of me that he think I got a potential to be great, so he's trying to push me to get everything out of me.
Do you really sense it? For me, I've had a chance to watch you since you got here. It almost feels like the lights come on for you because you're making a lot of plays. You know where you're going.
Yeah, I just think that I still got a lot of work to do, but I just feel like with Coach Cox and just me learning a lot more what I need to do and what they expect out of me, and just going out and do my job, and the plays that come as I do my job. But I just trying to have fun and relax and just play ball.
Anxious moments now for you, or do you feel pretty good about the situation, or you laid it out on the line? I guess you made your case, but are you going to be anxious tonight as you wait for this to unfold?
I feel like I did everything I could do. I had my ups and downs, but I think I gave it all. I gave it my all, and what happens. I know it's a business decision, whatever they do, but obviously I want to be here and just stay. But I'm just gonna relax, and I feel like I gave it all my all, and let everything else take care of itself.
Well, you put a lot of good tape this preseason out there that if you're not here, you're going to be somebody else. I hope you're going to be here. Yeah. You really put it to work. And by the way, your South Carolina Game Talks are taking on the chin tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to catch a little bit of it, but everybody been updating me on the score. But I was just trying to focus on the night, and now I can just relax and watch the rest of the game and try to catch them.
I hear you, man. You did a great job. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Travian Robertson right there, JP, a guy that I think has really come on strong.
That was strong of you to give him the spoiler alert there. Well done. If he was recording that game at home, for a big man, you're a very brave man. All right, Arch, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. We'll be back with a final thought right after this. Stay with us. And welcome back to Falcons Inside the Locker Room, brought to you by Northside Hospital. Falcons win it tonight, 24-14, now 2-2 to finish this preseason. And obviously with their offseason acquisitions, the draft choices, and this is looking to be a very fine draft class with obviously Jake Matthews starting, Rashid Hageman showing some signs of being a big play guy. You're going to get a lot out of Devontae Freeman. Prince Shembo, a 5th-round pick, looks like he's going to play on a lot of defense. it's been a good offseason for the Falcons, no doubt. And don't forget to join us for all our great shows here on CW69. Rise Up Weekly, 6 o'clock Saturday, takes you behind the scenes, game shows with the players. Corey Wire and Deshaun Ali do a great job with that show, a lot of fun. And Monday at 6, Falcons Rewind with Randy Waters, DJ Shockley, and Jen Hobby taking all your social media questions. 3 great shows, and of course our Inside the Locker Room after every game, folks, right here to CW69. Turn over to the station you're watching now and get all the live post-game coverage first right here. Everything everybody's going to be talking about will be here. Thanks very much for joining us. For all our crew here, Dave Archer, I'm JP Peterson. So long. See you after the Saints game.